Now that's a good movie.
I swear to God, if you go higher than a 6, we're done.
Evening movie nuts, this is your captain speaking. At this time, make sure your seat back and tray tables are in full upright position and that your seatbelt is correctly fastened. Also, your portable electronic devices must be set to top gun mode until announcement is made upon arrival. Thank you.
That was quite something. Thank you, Captain. Captain Luca. Which song is that?
Copyright free Danger Zone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow. What an exciting podcast we have for you today. Welcome, everybody. Today we are taking off from the Movieverse movie carrier.
Yes.
And we are flying at Mach 10 straight through Top Gun Maverick today. We're pushing the limits. We feel the need for speed. And we are so excited to be talking about this movie because this movie has been living rent-free in my head for the last, 3 days now?
Yeah.
So it's just been, I've been watching so many Top Gun videos. Not just like the movie itself, but also just other things like real life Top Gun, how the movie was made and things like that. And I think that we're dealing with a movie that is just something that we haven't seen before. I would say this year in our lineup. Maybe I could say looking back on it, like I was mentioning earlier to you, like with Good Time, because we were so focused on sort of our superhero movies, and like, you know, we had Spider-Man, we had Batman, and even the year prior we had our movies that were just so caught up in a formula that we actually have something that breaks the mold, and it is so refreshing.
Yeah, it's very different.
I am so hyped to be talking about Top Gun Maverick. But before we get into the movie review, we do have some. I was just playing in Danger Zone with my mouth. I can do it over Redemption again, but we do have some skits for you today. So Cody.
Yes.
You have that set up.
Yes, I do. I do. I'm very excited about this. You want me to just go ahead and explain it briefly?
Yes.
Okay, so what Luca and I have done is actually, this is a recommendation from a friend, Mitchell. Hello, if you're watching. I know you're probably watching it after it's live. In the movie, in Top Gun Maverick, and in the original, I believe, it's been a while since I've seen the original, they give like these battle plans, right? And it gave me the idea of these, like those PowerPoint games you play with people. I think he called it like PowerPoint Party, where you don't know what like someone made you a PowerPoint to present, but you don't know what it is, and you have to get it done in a certain amount of time. So it's kind of like a party game basically. So I thought we'd do one as making our own battle plans, but the other person has to present it and they don't know anything about it. So let me get my phone so we can time each other here. What do you think would be a good?
Timed?
Yeah, because then it's not stressful if you can just. Oh yeah, it'll be cringe. It'll be cringe, Derby. Definitely.
That's more.
Well, we do actually have other skits on the way, but this is more of just I would say a segment. That other skit will be coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got a stopwatch
I guess
here.
this is a segment. Yeah.
So let's say, how long do you want to? What do you think? A minute?
I think 5 minutes is enough time.
5 minutes? I think 5 minutes. No. I think
90 seconds. A minute 30.
Okay. Or how about 2 minutes? Because yours might be.
Jesus.
2 minutes. You get. All right. Yeah. Fine. We'll do a minute. We get 90 seconds. You get 90 seconds.
Okay.
We're feeling good. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you watching. So we're going to do 90 seconds. I have a timer on my phone. So I'm going to switch over to it. So who's going first here?
Well, do yours first because I feel like mine is not going to be
Okay,
that.
so
I don't know.
you basically have to act very professional and be that role. So I'm gonna be very dramatic. That's what you have to do.
Okay.
So let me get over to make sure it goes on screen properly here. Should go.
While Cody's doing that, Derpy, I'm feeling pretty good today. Boring day at work, you know how it goes. So.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go to this. Oh, all right. So you're not gonna be able to see our cameras for this just because the way I have it set up, sadly.
That's okay.
But so this is my presentation. I'm gonna start the timer, and I'm going for it. Are you ready?
All right. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been serving under me for 15 years, and this is the biggest mission of your life. I'm Captain Cody, and today I'm going to get you guys through Operation Cold Turkey, okay? Are you ready for this? This is going to be the biggest mission of your life.
Aye, Captain.
So, you're all going into the Gulag. Captain Price has ordered me to let you know that there is no room for failure here. You're getting in and you're getting out alive. I'm going to make sure you all survive the Gulag. And you're probably wondering, what am I doing in the Gulag? Why am I here? Well, guess what? You're not prepared for this. That's why I'm here. King Julian is in the Gulag. Your mission, I can't really tell you what, but you better be prepared because he's going to be partying. It's going to be a wild scene. You have to be undercover, and to get out alive is going to take immense skill and preparation. Your 15 years of training are not going to be enough to get through this. Now, you're probably wondering, what am I doing here? Why do I need to go after King Julian in the Gulag? Well, that's because the Roadrunner and his friend are nuking the entire Gulag facility, and you're all done for. So, pack your things, get ready for your mission, because here at Top Gun, there's no option besides success. Good luck. I think that's it.
Thanks, Captain.
All right. Okay. I may have gone over by 15 seconds.
That's fine.
May have gone over on that.
I was giggling. I'm really gonna be. You pressed me for some time here.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you. I think for yours, the one I made for you, for anyone joining, Biffer, if you're just joining, we're basically in Top Gun. There's random PowerPoints, so we are doing this thing, this PowerPoint game where each of us made each other a slideshow. We have no idea what it is, and you have to act like you're presenting it as like a war prep thing. That's our little skit intro for today's episode. Thanks for joining us. It is now Luca's turn to present. He has no idea what's coming his way.
Do you have a document that I can look off of while it's on the screen?
Oh. It's in our Google Docs, so you can just snag it there, and I'll
just because I'm going to be looking at it.
Yeah.
Like, delayed. Where is it under the Google Doc? Oh, is it in our
Julian's feet?
Actual.
I did the best I could.
Okay.
You just let me know when you're switching slides, and I'll move it basically. But I'm gonna put it on stream now. So this is Luca's turn. I'm gonna put a timer on. You get 1:30. And now let me present this.
Okay, I got it open on my end. So
better get your acting chops in order. Yeah, get this. Get ready.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
All right, you sissies. Welcome to Mission Battle Plan with Captain Luca. Today, we're doing Operation Holy Guacamole. Now, we're going to the Chipotle on top of the Russian mountain in Siberia. Now, we're going in with our F-16 Thunderhawks, and we got to take out their secret Chipotle operation. Your target is a 15.2 bajillion kilojoules, which is also 6.7 quarts of oil energy per hour. Now, you know how much we love oil over here. Now, this thing is packed full of guac, and it's not guac that you're going to want to eat. Now, the objective is to take this guac bomb and make it into smashed guacamole, and then you got to add it on to your nachos. Now, this is just all metaphors, because this leads to the alien invasion that the Russians have been planning this whole time, those damn communists. Now, I wish you luck with making holy guacamole your main life and objective. We need nothing but fancy nachos with the best guacamole, and those damn commies, they're taking it away from us. Do you hear me? They can't have the 15.2 bajillion kilojoules of fresh guac. You know how much fat that is? You need that fat in your body. Now, I wish you the best, Top Gun, because you're all we have.
It was like President George Bush Jr. Oh my God.
George Bush Jr.
It's like, listen, goddamn terrorists. Oh my God. Well done. Well done. You stayed under time too. You're going pretty fast there.
Hey man, what can I say? I'm just good at presenting. I don't know. That's all I do is present. All right. Next little segment. I want to give ourselves. I want to give ourselves some call signs. You know how like in the Air Force a call sign is given to somebody. It's not sort of something that you come up yourself. So since we have Rooster, Hangman, Maverick, Goose, Iceman, Phoenix, Fanboy, Playboy, all those guys.
Yeah.
We gotta give each other some call signs.
I'd have to come up with one on the spot. I got it. I know. I think okay. I have some ideas here.
Well, I think yours is pretty fitting for you, and this is just because I know you. Aquaman.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Operation Holy Guacamole. It's a go. It's a go.
Well, this is more, I guess, more on a personal note, not really more of like a. But I mean, I guess it has to be somewhat. I was gonna say that your call sign could be Harley, just because you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just because I like the bikes.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
In your daily life, like.
Well, for those here who don't know, Luca has a coffee business, Moose Coffee Co. So I'll just call you Bean Boy.
Bean Boy.
What up, Bean Boy? Yeah.
Thank you. I do like Aquaman. I also like. I mean, just going off the call sign thing. Like, if I were to give myself a call sign, I would do Rabbit just because like. That's my Xbox gamer tag. Like, it has Rabbit in it. Well, and everybody just calls me that, so like I sort of just take naturally to like if somebody was like, "Hey, Rabbit," like that's just sort of what I respond to on Xbox.
The thing with it is like obviously you can't. It's given to you. It's given to you. Like I actually was watching an interview.
Bean Boy. I'm okay with Bean Boy.
I don't know if you saw this, but I saw an interview with a Top Gun, like an actual Top Gun graduate, and they asked him what his call sign was, how did he get it. He was called Bus, and it was because at the time there was a very large famous football player with the same name as him, so they just called him Bus. Yeah. Do you want to get right into the nitty gritty of this movie?
Yeah, I have a lot to say about this movie.
Why don't I get something cool on?
Just even
on,
from
screen.
my,
I'll get something cool on screen.
Yeah, bring up some of the photos and stuff, and I think that I have a little itinerary here. Sort of. I want to start off with the plot. I think the plot is something that is probably drastically different than what we've seen in the original Top Gun. So I mean, to my knowledge, well, even just like watching all these videos, the original Top Gun is them going through the program. So,
and it's about a competition within it.
Whereas now, I feel like this movie surpasses the original Top Gun because we actually see them getting ready for a mission. And There's some emotional aspects to this movie. There's a reason for you to root for the characters. There's a reason to feel tension. So they do a really, really good job laying the movie out and structuring it in a way to like where, I was sweating from some of these scenes.
Yeah, I get that.
And this movie just like it you leave the movie theater and like you almost want to walk into another movie theater that has a screening just a little bit later just to go and watch it again. Like it the plot and the sequencing of everything just really was just really well done. And I was seeing a lot about the director for this movie, and he also directed Oblivion, Tron Legacy, and some other movies. But I've been actually really wanting to see Oblivion, so that's on my list. And I might put it on our list for the movie reviews too, if you wanted to check that out.
Definitely.
It's another Tom Cruise movie, so if we wanted to go on a Tom Cruise binge, we can.
We have been enjoying that. I think because we did one with Robert Pattinson. We watched a lot of his stuff. I want to read you guys' comments.
What did you think
here.
of the plot? What did you think of the plot?
I liked it a lot. Just having him come back. Obviously, like, it's called Top Gun. Even though he's not at Top Gun anymore, you knew he was going to be coming back. But I really love the way they did it. The fact that he's like, he's a hotshot pilot, not an instructor. So seeing him come back in that capacity was... Seeing him come back in a capacity like that was a really fun way to re-explore his character.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually surprised at how well Tom Cruise played this character, 36 years later, something like that. It's been a while.
That's a good segue into the next topic, which is the acting. So, I mean, why do you say you're surprised? I feel like it's just something that comes natural.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to retire right now. There's no way.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly's character, it was like, you're going wherever I want to go. Trying to get the thing on screen today.
What is really cool about the acting, and so I'm gonna break down the acting into two parts. So like we'll have the acting itself and how people did, and what they had to go through to get ready for this, because Tom Cruise basically put them through boot camp.
Yeah, well, for that specific mission.
No, like in.
Oh, you mean real?
To get ready for the movie,
yeah,
they had
to
do the Navy training. They had to do the blindfolded flood test and get out of that. They actually had to do Navy training to get ready for this.
Yeah.
They got basically their pilot's license because they had to fly in Cessnas. They went from Cessnas to I forgot what type of jet it was, but it was a jet. And then they actually they filmed in the F-18s, right?
Yeah.
F-18s, but they were flown by the Blue Angels or actual Navy pilots.
Yeah.
So they were in the back seat. But I was watching an interview with Miles Teller, and he's like, I had to do some really rigorous training, and he got down to some crazy low percentage of body fat to look good for that beach scene that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
And they really pushed themselves through the ringer for this movie. They were throwing up in the planes, they were actually experiencing the G's, and just absolutely crazy what they had to go through. And while they were filming this, obviously the director can't be in the front seat with his camera pointing back at him great job guys.
Yeah.
Oh
no, the camera rig was really cool.
Yeah, Sony actually made these really tiny
Yeah.
IMAX quality cameras, and they put them on the outside of the F-18 and on the inside, and the actors had to record and do everything while they were up in the air. and then come back down, look at it, and see if they had to change anything.
I see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Fourth of July release would have been awesome. It's funny you mentioned that about his face being slappable, because I was actually watching a Top Gun Maverick trailer reaction, and someone had said like, "Man, he's like his face is really slappable," but then you watch his acting and you're like, "Wow, he's really good." But yeah, I don't know. He was acting at the beginning of this movie, and probably in the clips you saw him in the trailers. Acting? In the footage we saw of him in the trailers, he was acting like a dick on purpose, though, because like he was mad.
Yeah.
You know, there's a huge bug next to my desk now.
He looks really good as Goose's son. Like,
yeah, no,
nailed that.
Perfect. Yeah, it's like they couldn't have picked someone better to play him. Like you just you know, the chemistry between him and Tom Cruise, and like, you know,
yeah,
and like as Maverick, it was really good. Slap him Will Smith style. Yeah.
But just a testament to these guys for doing it. And I hope this movie, you know, as much as I don't care for the Oscars, I just really wish that this movie gets the recognition and actually wins like a good amount of awards, because it deserves it. And I know for us, you know, I'm probably going to vouch for this movie to get, you know, a good amount of our own awards.
For sure. Yeah.
So, you know, just some of the characters, you know, they all kind of sit with me after the movie. Like, you know, I can remember all their names. And I feel like this movie, thinking back to Top Gun, like the 1980s Top Gun, I feel like Hangman was very similar to Val Kilmer's Iceman.
Yeah, I think they were doing that on purpose. Yeah.
You know, sort of that, like, they were talking about ego, and I was watching, like, actual Top Gun instructor, like, they were talking about this movie, and, they were saying that, like, they were talking about how movie, like, how accurate it was to real life, like the whole thing, and obviously it's Hollywood, so they're gonna make things look cooler than it actually is. But they're talking about like ego and stuff, and how like Hangman is more of like his ego is obvious, whereas in regular, you know, like in real life, fighter pilots that have a high ego, just they just don't listen to anything you have to say, and they just go out and straight up just do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything you want to say about acting? I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I'm just excited.
Yeah, no, I know you're really excited for this. I see your comments, guys. Yeah, best way to do a sequel, definitely. Yeah, the acting was really, really good, and it's like the thing is with this movie is it's one of those action movies where there were a lot of moments in the movie that are like, you know, the type of action where you're like, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time, your heart's pounding, you're nervous, right? But then there's so many parts of this movie that are just like calm, collected, quiet moments, and there's so many good actors and actresses in this movie. And like, I think coming from us, we have been watching a lot of action movies recently. For those movies that don't have a lot of action, like this one does in a large portion of it, the acting needs to be really, really good. And to bring back characters this much later and have the characters still feel genuine, you know? Like, how do you remember to play a character you haven't played in almost 4 years, you know? And, like, still make it feel like the exact same person. You know what I mean? And also, like, people like John Hamm in this movie were really good. There were a couple other people that played higher-up generals that were really good.
But speaking on to, like, you know, the length of time that between movies, I feel like with Top Gun, though, for Tom Cruise to, like, become Maverick, I feel like he's just that mind. I think it's just a mindset.
He just goes.
it's just him.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
Maverick is just him.
Well, it's kind of like the same thing with. Yeah, but Tom Cruise isn't like that. He's not cocky and like that. You know, Tom Cruise is big bug. Tom Cruise is more calm, collected kind of person.
Well,
But yeah,
I think he's also.
I think remembering to play the character probably wasn't that difficult. And also, they did rely a lot on the. I love the relationship between him and Rooster, and how they built that up.
And what I find great about this movie is that if people were to come watch this movie without seeing the original Top Gun, you have enough to understand what's going on, why there's tension between Maverick and Goose. They explain everything, and you can basically watch this movie on its own and still have the same emotional reactions to what you're watching, even if you haven't seen the first one or knew what happened in the first one.
I would disagree with that.
Really?
Because it's like it's been 36 years. Like ever since I was little, that relationship between Maverick and Goose was like one of the biggest things in movies like ever. And so like there was such a huge emotional impact, and because of the relationship, and then Rooster and Goose and Maverick. And if you just watch Top Gun and then go to see this one the next day, you're not going to be as emotionally impacted as if you've known this movie your whole life. Like these characters. Like, I got chills when the movie started because it was like, oh my god, they're finally back. So it's like you won't get that same experience. It'll be a great movie regardless. Was Maverick and Mary Sue, was he too perfect of a pilot? I would actually credit that to kind of like a Tom Cruise thing. He does mess up though in this movie. He's not perfect. But obviously in a Tom Cruise directed movie where he's the main character, he wants to do good, But like he's not perfect. He doesn't know. There's plenty of times in this movie he states like he doesn't know what to do, right? So I don't think he's perfect by any means.
The whole thing of doing that run in 2 minutes and 15 seconds though.
But he is the best.
Without doing it prior.
Well, he's done it. He's done it plenty of time. Oh, you mean
don't even get me started on Jurassic World. Well, I'm gonna address the Star Wars thing and Jurassic World and whatever at the end, because I just want to get through Top Gun Maverick and get our thoughts out onto it, and then we'll do some stuff.
Yeah, I have that same opinion though as you do, Derpy, about Jurassic World. So, but anyway,
what makes we were talking about the practical shots, and I think. If this movie was CG, it would not hit the same.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, it's just not.
It would not hit the same. And I think part of the reason it took so long was because you have to do so much work to make this movie actually happen. Like, because they have to make the connections, and they have to talk to the Navy, and they have to get all these things sorted out to actually be able to film the movie. And it's okay. Say your comments and whatever. I'm personally just gonna address them after. But please talk. So I think that's why it took 36 years. I'm pretty sure they probably. Well, Tom Cruise was also just saying the timing of everything. Like, now just felt like the right time. Imagine if they came out with Top Gun 2 in 1990.
No, this movie did like the original Top Gun. The original Top Gun was definitely, what do you call it? It was so legendary, like Jaws status, where it didn't need a sequel. Of course, Jaws went the wrong way. You know what I mean? But I see your face. Like Top Gun didn't.
To be for his comment.
We'll get to the reviews soon. Luca's gonna have to disagree with you. But Top Gun was so legendary that it's like it didn't need. Some movies are just so good without a sequel. But then, I feel like they, I think it was Tom Cruise's doing of like you have that sweet spot of like that was such a great movie. You build up the hype for years to be like, oh, I would love to see the return of Maverick, right? And it was the right time, Like it didn't need to happen 2 years after the original, right? It sat as a legendary movie for 36 years, and it was time to bring it back. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with like the way they did it was perfect. Like you can't to have a sequel.
This should be the last movie.
Giant last bug. Time. What am I squashing it with this time? Got it.
What'd you smash it with?
Some sort of pad, like a paper pad. So anyway,
Yeah, Cody just sent it to the Gulag.
yeah, I did.
You downed the enemy. No revive.
Yeah. Yeah. So Top Gun did not need a sequel. I never thought it was going to get one, but to get one now made a lot of sense because people who saw it when they were little and stuff are now like everyone remembers it, right? But it was like,
yeah,
it didn't need one, but it got a great one.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree, and this should be the last. They shouldn't make any more of these.
Yeah, it was like a nice way to return.
Tom Cruise will not do something like this with a mission like he did with Mission Impossible.
No,
there's going to be another Mission Impossible too, right? I mean,
2 of them, yeah.
So, this isn't a franchisable movie. I wouldn't want it to be.
No, I think the whole point was like, they were saying behind the scenes, you'll never get this again. This was like a love letter to aviation. This was like something that could only really be done once and have the same impact because no one's done something like this before, and that's how that's how it should be. It doesn't have to be like, but that's like franchisable is not how Tom Cruise rolls. Just like Mission Impossible, I think is his one fun passion project where he loves doing action movies, and like they do that on purpose. But everything else he does, he's not big on, crazy sequels and stuff like that. This was more like, the technology has improved so much. The original Top Gun, to get shots of the planes that looked intense, they would take the studio level cameras, point them at the planes, and then I saw this. They attached like a drill, like a hand battery drill, to the cameras with something that was off center. And so when they were recording the shots of the planes, they would just pull the trigger and the camera would shake.
Yep.
To make the planes look like they were going fast. But now you can actually, get
you can actually just go
shots
on the plane.
Yeah, well, no, he was in those ones too. But
no, yeah.
Yeah. So the technology's gotten to the point where having a sequel made a lot of sense. You can have a much better cinematic experience now for Top Gun.
Yeah, and to wrap up the discussion on the movie before we hop into the ratings, I just want to talk briefly about the filmmaking and sort of how, this movie broke Memorial Day box office records. It broke the record for the lowest drop-off in the second week for a movie with 32%. The original record holder was Shrek 2 at a 33% drop-off.
Why? Whatever.
So basically that just means that it only saw a 32% decrease in people going to watch the movie in the second week.
Which is still that's really good. I'm surprised Infinity War and Endgame aren't up there or something.
Yeah,
I
almost wonder what the list is.
Yeah, save that and we'll bring it up later.
And so Top Gun Maverick obviously beat that. I'll have to search through this after I talk about this and get it off my mind. So I feel like this movie has sort of given me a deeper appreciation for the filmmaking process and sort of had me second guessing some of the things. Like I was saying earlier, we were so caught up in the formula of superhero movies and sort of the Disney formula, the Marvel formula.
Yeah, very one note.
And all those movies, they're just there to look cool. Whereas, now that I look back and think of Good Time, I'm like, wow, there were some actually, really good cinematic touches there. And looking back at Robert Pattinson's acting and things like that. Because now, Beefer's going to hate what I'm going to rank this movie if he's still here. And, giving a 6 is that. I forgot what he said was his 6 was something like an 8 or something to a normal person. But this honestly had me like, wow, this is cinema. Like, this is a movie. You know, like everything else we've seen compared to this is like crazy. Like, it had me double like guessing myself on some things.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the way it was made.
And I love how they bring back the nostalgia, like the 80s vibe of the original, in a really subtle way, too. It's like, it's not like they just throw neon lights at you. It's just like, at the beginning, the film grain and the song and the atmosphere that they were doing, you're like, wow, this is like, you get that vibe.
I want the...
Drones and space rockets.
Top Gun is obsolete. We got our drones. We got to get rid of your fast plane.
Your kind's heading for extinction, Maverick.
All right, so we're gonna breeze through these ratings. And Cody.
Yeah.
Not surprised by this curve. If you want to hop on IMDb.
IMDb. We're going to the curve here.
We're just gonna fly. I'm not.
Oh my god!
Spend too much time on it.
Well, that is the most. That's the craziest curve we've seen.
Yeah,
that's
8 to 10. Like that's like the highest ranking.
38.8% of people rated it a 10 out of 10. 29.79. 20% 8. Dude, it goes from 20 to like 7. It just drops really fast. That's great.
And it seemed to do well with like almost every demographic except for females under 18.
There's only 16 reviews, so.
And well, 50% of them also gave it a 10. So.
There's just someone who said, "Eh."
Not
well, I mean,
by this.
I'm not surprised it did well with the older crowd because they, I mean, at this point, I'd say anyone. I don't know. I'd say if you were born before 2005, you probably grew up with this movie, Like, your parents probably showed you this movie when you were really young, you know what I mean? Or that you watched it a lot, or you've seen it, Top Gun and Jaws, right now in my head, are movies that I'd be like, oh, you haven't seen that? Like, that's like a legendary movie. It doesn't matter how old it is. That's like a movie you have to see,
Yeah, that's what I thought, Beaver.
Your 6 equals an 8? Okay.
So, 8.6, it's good from IMDb. It's good. 119,943 reviews on IMDb. Okay. Tomato Meter, on the other hand.
All right,
this is the highest score we've seen. I'm pretty sure the highest audience score we've seen in our entire movie reviews.
Yeah, no, that's nuts.
Almost a perfect score from either side, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. And I'm going to have to say that this is pretty spot on for me.
Yeah, I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away.
I don't know how you're feeling about it, but I mean, like, I don't really want to say. I don't have much to say about Rotten Tomatoes, but I think Rotten Tomatoes, even though I don't really like them often, has given this movie the rating it deserves in my book. I'm not saying that I agree with, or I'm not saying it's like my score is a 97 or a 99, but I want you to give your score first, Cody.
Really? I have to go first?
Yep, I'm making you do it.
Shit. Tom Cruise laugh. I wish I could pull up a video of him laughing.
You could if you do it fast enough.
Okay. YouTube. Tom Cruise laughing. Meme. Well, we got the meme. I want a video of it. Tom Cruise. Here we go. Oh, it's just a GIF. No. Here you go.
And
All right, you just gotta get the.
I went, you know, she.
Here it is.
He's like,
I don't know why that's such a big meme. Oh my god. Okay. I am going to. Well, let me pull up our chart. Let's pull up the tier list chart we have here,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
Into the intergalactic movie ranking chart.
I think it's called.
Thank you for that. Yes. And as you can see, we have Top Gun. It has not found its place yet. Actually, you will see here. I don't know if you guys can see. You guys can't see my mouse, but you'll see under 6. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen how this works by now. We have the favorites with the star on the right side, and then you have the movies by their number. So if you look at under 6, you see Good Time has 0.4. That means Good Time is a 6.4. And yeah, so now it's time to rank this one here, little old Top Gun Maverick, and put it where it belongs.
Well, Top Gun Maverick beat out a 9.5 Batman movie.
It's I don't know. It's like I hate going first. I wish we could do a grab bag and just like not see what each other said, because I don't want you to base your score off mine. I don't want to base mine off yours.
My score
Was set from the
was solidified the
long
moment we
ago.
walked out of that theater.
Really?
I had a score right when we walked out of that theater.
I can't give the score I want to give it because it would be illegal. I can't.
Tom Cruise laugh.
10.10. Like, no. Am I really gonna go? Am I really gonna do this?
Heartbeat.
I can't hear it. Your mic cuts out when you do that. Just there's no audio at all. No, nothing. It cuts out. They can't hear anything either. Better than Batman, or was Batman too high to begin with? No, I think
No, Batman is not too high.
let's just say that regardless of what I'm about to rate Top Gun, because let's be honest, for us, they're both going to be in the 8s to a 9s range, right? Batman, I think, is just as good as Top Gun, but it's a completely different movie, so you can't really compare them. You know, I think they're both masterfully crafted, regardless of what the movie is about, superhero, real life conflict, aviator stuff. You know, they're both masterpieces. So I don't think, like, seeing Top Gun Maverick does not change our opinion on the Batman. That is still a masterpiece that deserves that high. In our opinion. Yeah. And I mean, that definitely happens.
We will never go back on changing a score of a movie, and we will also never give a movie a 10. We will never give a movie a perfect score because we always have to leave a little bit of space.
Well, it's there. We got to use it at some point. But like, there's. I'm giving Top Gun Maverick because I love the original. I love this one. It had me so emotional. It had me on the edge of my seat. It was just like to see these characters come back, chills the whole time. Yes, better than Shutter Island, better than Lighthouse, better than No Way Home, because honestly, No Way Home is one of those movies where it was like an amazing movie, and then a couple months later, you're like, wow, nostalgia really hit hard. Like,
well, yeah, that's what we said. We were just like, if it didn't have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, that movie is probably like a 6.
In my opinion, yeah, because I feel like half the movie I could, like, honestly, if I was ever to watch No Way Home again, I'd skip the first half and just watch the second half. To be honest, this is getting. It's like a life and death decision.
It's on the edge of my seat.
What are you in the theater watching Top Gun again? Oh God, it's life and death. 9. Point. You know what? I'm not regretting this. 9.8. I love this movie with every ounce of my I'm Thanos with every ounce of my energy. I love this movie. There's no movie that can come back this many years later. It was just like this is like this. The first one was like my childhood. To see this come back and so masterfully crafted and never you can't recreate anything they did. They took their time. It was perfect. Like the CG, like the only effects that weren't real looked amazing. All the real like actual combat or like the aviation was amazing. The motorcycles, the planes, the atmosphere, the acting, Goose, Rooster, like 9.8.
Well, you're in luck, sir.
No way.
Because we're in agreement.
You're putting this as a 9.8?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. And
yes! Okay.
I say a 9.8 because obviously, like, personally, I will never give a movie a 10. As much as I would want to say that Top Gun Maverick is a 10, I don't think there will ever be a movie that I could deem as perfect.
Like, honestly, like, we kind of have to keep in mind that, like, we have if we don't start using the 1, the 2, the 10, the 5, you know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna get so crammed into like nines because it's like I wouldn't be upset if we gave it a 10 because it's like it's perfect. Like, we wouldn't change a thing. How can it not be a 10? Like, we can't be so, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so then why did you give it a 9.8?
Well, because I thought we were in that.
It should be a 10.
Because I thought you said we weren't allowed to give 10s.
Well, just because I say it can't be a 10 doesn't mean that.
Well, I don't want to go against the ITM Intergalactic Movie Ranking rules.
But if per the rules, it says that we must use one. Like, I don't know what other movie. Maybe the only movie that I can see having something that is close to this ranking would be Norseman, if we actually like it, or Northman, right? Is it North?
Was that the one by the Lighthouse director we wanted to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
Because that has a 7.3 on IMDb and an 89%, and a 64% audience score. Now, that movie was said to be, like, really good. Do I know if that movie is as good as Top Gun? I don't know. Because Top Gun is something that I want to go back and watch. Like, I'm ready to go watch it again.
RRR. Oh.
You know?
RRR? I don't know what RRR is. Do a little Googling of my own here.
RRR.
I have never seen this.
It's a 2022 film. What the hell is this?
No, I have not seen
this.
It's
one of those Bollywood movies.
But some of them are really good. They're
joke.
really good.
This is a joke. Look at this.
I haven't seen this. But I don't think we can... I'd be totally down to watch this, but I don't think we can get it... Can we get it on Netflix here? I don't know if we can.
No, I think you can. You can get it on from here.
It's got really good ratings. Put it on the list. That'd be fun. I've actually wanted to watch more movies that are not U.S. British origin. You know, there are some really, really good films that are not made in the U.S. We just haven't really gotten into them yet. But so are we sticking with a 9.8? Are we going to a 10?
Well, what do you think? Do you think it should go up that high? Would you regret doing that, or are you happy with?
We either have to come to an agreement that
because the way that I view 1s and 10s, like, we'll definitely probably find a movie that's a 2 at some point.
Yes, but if there was, I can't see another movie I've ever seen beating Top Gun Maverick. This is the pinnacle of filmmaking. So to not give it a 10, to give it even the 2.2% or the 20% possibility that something could be above it in the 9 ranking, you know, like to not say it's perfection when we both claim it is. It's our show. We can do whatever we want. like we can just put it there.
Look, the intergalactic movie rankings. There has to be some balance.
Yeah, well, there's. You
and
tell
that
me
balance is putting Top Gun Maverick at a damn 10.
because I was gonna say, look at the 8s. This looks very unbalanced. This thing's about a tip over. About a tip over.
Top Gun will carry it. All right, you know.
All right.
Put it at a 10. Screw it. Put it at a 10. We're going against everything.
We stand for it.
No,
we agree. I think we have never been so shooketh by a movie.
Personally, I've never been like well, you know, besides no, you know what? Yeah.
It'll be a favorite. It'll be a favorite.
Shooketh.
We don't even need to discuss if it's a favorite. It's a favorite.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be.
I wasn't even gonna ask you. I was just gonna.
I wasn't gonna ask. Well, I gotta put it in. I gotta add it in on the thing. So,
Beaver giving it a 6 out of 10. I mean, even though that's an 8.
that's an 8 in his scale, which is fair. I think anything through a 7 to a 10, 7 met, but like anything from an 8 to a 10 is agreeable for me. Like, it makes sense. You know what I mean? I mean, it follows the curve. Not to say we're basing it off the curve, but like our opinion happens to be in line with that. And yeah, I mean, I think it's about time that something got that 10 slot. And if there's any movie that's earned it, it's this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Batman is amazing. I think the only reason it got knocked down from a 10 to a 9.5 is because of a few scenes that could have been a little shorter, I think was our main reason.
Well, like, I also wouldn't give Batman a 10, like, because
you could always change something with that movie.
With Top Gun, it nails emotional, it nails the thrill, the story. From an acting perspective, everybody was a fantastic actor. The things that they had to go through to even do that. Yeah. The practicality of everything, the fact that there is very limited CGI, and the fact that they actually used real jets. They even rebuilt that entire first plane in the beginning with Lockheed Martin, and they did such a good job at replicating a blueprint that Lockheed Martin had that the Chinese satellite actually turned around to look at what the plane was because they thought it was a new development in the actual like Navy or Air Force.
Which plane did they rebuild?
It was
the P-51 Mustang or the F-14?
The black whatever was. The Dark Star.
Yeah.
The first plane in the beginning sequence.
Yeah.
And this movie continues to give too. Like it opens up with that, like basically that, join the Navy Air Force or join the Navy, right? Hype sequence that like makes you want to get on an aircraft carrier, and then it goes straight into the next thing of him being a test pilot. Yeah, and it just keeps on giving, and it doesn't slow down.
That beginning,
even the slower portions though,
are good. Yeah,
are still keeping you engaged.
Yeah, I love that beginning sequence with Danger Zone playing and on the carrier. That was so like the original. That was like the essence of the original right at the beginning of this movie, setting the tone. Yep. And it was like perfect. It was like couldn't have asked for anything better. Like you couldn't dream for a better sequel to Top Gun. Because it's not meant to be about warfare or over the top with insane dogfights. I mean, it is, but it's to a point. Top Gun isn't about like war dogfighting. It's about like the school and mainly Maverick and Goose and now Rooster. Yeah,
I do like they actually carried out a mission and stuff like.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
And I think that's what really set this movie apart and made it better, was actually seeing that mission and seeing all that stuff being applied, and the issues and the problems that they had to overcome.
Just so you know, we're at about 56. Yeah. You see it? Yep.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of it.
Yeah, so
I'm just gonna For Derpy, I know Derpy, I think, is not here right now. But he was mentioning Star Wars and Jurassic World, and I just want to talk about those two things. We did see the Jurassic World Dominion.
You can have all the fun you want talking about Jurassic World. I'll just quickly give my thought, and then the rest of the time is yours. So here we go.
Okay.
We don't need 6 Jurassic Park movies. They're all the same. They're boring. All right, one was good enough. I'm done with them. All right, now you can have the stage now.
So Jurassic World, right? We were talking. I think you and I were talking about this. It's just a bigger dinosaur. They changed the location. Yeah. And then they say, oh, look, here's a new Jurassic Park. And then people are like, but this one's different. This one has the old cast coming back. And it's like, well, I don't really care.
It's a money grab. It's a money grab.
You know, like, they've been doing the same thing for so many years now. And it's just kind of like, please stop. So, not excited to see Jurassic World. I'm not even going to watch it.
Yeah.
And I would totally pick Top Gun over that. As for Star Wars, saying that Star Wars needs to learn how to do a sequel. Yes. They do need to learn how to not continue to make the same movie 3 times and looking at the older ones and saying, let's just do that but with new characters. Same thing that Jurassic Park is doing.
Yeah.
But if that was in reference to the Kenobi series, because I have been seeing a lot of things about the Kenobi series now that there's been 3 episodes released that people were like hating on it, and it's just like the fanboys, like the Star Wars mega nerds, and they're like, man, this is like man, and it's just like, stop. Like, we're finally getting something that is actually really well produced, and Ewan McGregor is doing a great job, and Hayden Christensen is like, I want to do a Darth Vader solo series. And it's like, you never would have thought that from him, because the dude's been like, well, working on a farm since the prequels came out. So, you know, the fact that he wants to come back and continue to do more Vader is like amazing, and that wouldn't have happened if you didn't have Kenobi. But yeah, Star Wars and Disney, and just Disney in general, need to take a few notes and definitely look into doing some more practical filmmaking. And even though all the CGI stuff is great, and I do love how far it's come, seeing the practical, like, doing it for real, like, and like the G-force on their faces.
Yeah, you can't
Maverick.
You can't do that in CGI.
To actually replicate that in CGI would be so difficult. To actually do the G-force.
No, their genuine reactions to all that, you can't replicate that, you know? That's it wouldn't have been as impactful by far. So I'm going to do closing remarks since it's 7. Top Gun Maverick, 10 out of 10. Perfect movie. The first one in ITM history.
Expect to see its return in the ITM awards. And next movie, we haven't discussed it yet, but
we'll leave it as a surprise, you know?
If you want to go follow us on Instagram at into.themovieverse, then head over there and see what movie we're going to be reviewing next. Beefer, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Derpy,
thank you, good sir.
Even though I don't think Derpy's here.
Thank you for joining, again, everyone who stayed.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah. Hope you all enjoyed.
Like this, share it with anybody who has seen Top Gun Maverick. Talk about it with your friends. It's a pleasure. So, Cody, till next time.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Biffer, Derpy, for showing up. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you on the next episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, and you will find out when we're going live next. There should be a skit coming your way soon as well on this channel within this week. I promise it's coming out. So, all right. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you very soon.